Hello and welcome inside the corner, your Coyote Corner video blog here from the University of South Dakota Dakota Dome, along with Jay Elsen. I'm Alex Heinert, talking Yotes football, and through 2 weeks in the season, Jay, Coyotes 1-1 right now, coming off a win over William Penn here at the weekend. Talk about what's coming up next week, a big test in Montana.
Yeah, at Montana, and really the first true test for this football team, because you can't really measure anything what we saw at Oregon or for that matter in the win over William Penn, because that's an NAIA opponent. But now it's time to get a real measure of where this football team's at. Montana's a very good program year in and year out. They were a playoff team a year ago. And so this is going to be a good test, a good road test in a very difficult environment to play in. Washington Grizzly Stadium, very tough. They fill it up. They love their Grizz in Missoula. So, this is a good thing that we're going to finally get to see just where this team's at 3 weeks into the season.
Third year in a row these two teams have met. Both of those matchups, maybe to the surprise of some people, pretty close. Last year here at the Dome game, the Yotes probably should have won. Special teams gaff kind of late in the game, gave it to the Grizzlies. But this year, a new season. What are your thoughts about the matchup itself?
Well, obviously Montana's still very high-powered. I mean, they bring a very explosive offense, and their defense wasn't as good last year, but overall, a lot of athletes on that side of the football as well. I mean, they're pretty loaded up, but it starts at quarterback. The question is that quarterback going to play? Jordan Johnson, who came into the Dome last year, had some trouble. The Coyotes forced 3 turnovers. He's now a guy that throws a lot of picks, and the Coyotes got him 3 times last year, but he hurt him as well with that big arm of his, as he got him over the top several times and showed some of that playmaking ability, and really good at extending things with his legs. Now, missed last week with a concussion. Never certain as to whether or not that's going to be good to go by this weekend. Coyote's certainly going to plan like he's going to be out there, because you don't want to be unprepared for a guy, especially that guy, going into a game. So they're going to pretend like he's going to be out there and handle it, adjust if they need to. But certainly he's a guy that's very dangerous. Trayvon Van, their little tailback, who like Jasper Sanders, they can do a variety of things with him. He had 4 touchdowns and
4 touchdowns and 6 touches in a 48-14 win over Central Washington last week.
A lot of athletes. Matt Hermanson, a kid that people around here know very well, has had a very nice career already to this point at safety for them. And he scored a touchdown here in the Dome last year defensively. So, a lot of names that will feel familiar based on what happened here in Vermillion last year. But third straight year against the Grizz. Montana has gotten the first 2 in this series. So, the Coyotes would love to close out this 3-game series with the Grizzlies with a win. Just got to figure out a way to do that on the road, which has been difficult for this team. Yeah,
Montana, a similar start to the season as the University of South Dakota, a win against the lower-level opponents, against Central Washington last week, a loss, albeit a very close one, 17-12 against Wyoming in week number 1. So both of these teams kind of figuring things out as the season goes along. For USD, through 2 games so far, like we said, tough to get a true gauge, but what do you think the team's biggest strength has been so far?
It's the ground game. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they've gone for over 500 yards in the 2 games. Yes, you have to consider the opponent this last week when they put 357 up on the board, but you also have to consider what they did against Oregon. Ran for, I think it was 180 or close to it, and great yard per carry average. I mean, this team is getting it done. We talked about it all through the preseason, how strong they were, how deep they were at the running back spot, and that's something that Joe Glenn has been very adamant about, that they wanted to establish a run game, and they have. Credit to those 4 guys, but also credit to the big 5 guys up front who are doing a great job opening up some holes. You don't get a 6+ yard per carry unless your line's doing a great job. So it's not even close. That's the biggest strength of this team right now.
Biggest concern?
Biggest concern, I think, overall, I would say health, particularly on the defensive line, where they had 4 guys miss the game on Saturday against William Penn. So they had 3 true freshmen out there. They're a 3-4 defense, so all the way across the line, they're playing true freshmen at one point there in the second half. So that's a big concern. It sounds like a couple of those guys, one for sure, maybe a couple, will probably be back in the mix this week, so that will help. But, obviously they've had some trouble stopping the run against William Penn, but it's a unique offense. It's different. It's not an excuse, but it's a reason, though. It's something that you prepare for. Andre Field said it well during the broadcast. You prepare for it once, and then you forget about it because you're not going to face it again. Montana, though, with these athletes that they're about to see, they're going to have to do a better job stopping that run if they want to be successful on Saturday. So I would say overall, the biggest concern is the health. The secondary is obviously more of a question mark than a concern, just because we're still learning about these guys and they're still gelling as a unit. I wouldn't call it the biggest concern. They have to get healthy as they go forward, because the schedule's not going to get any easier.
That's right. Big matchup, obviously, against Montana. You will be there in Missoula coming up. And that game will be actually live on MidcoSN, 8 o'clock on Saturday nights. Should be a lot of fun.